Listen up, buddy. You freaking nerds. Takes one to know one. I'm talking about the nutrition nerds. Who still argue what's the best salmon Nutella? What's the freaking best nutrition? What's the best nutrient? What are the real superfoods? You guys are looking at the whole picture like this, huh? You guys missing the whole freaking point of life. Your health, your well-being, your connection, how good you feel, everything about you. If you think about only in the nutrition terms, this is how you view it. I can eat raw meat and develop properly. I can munch my little raw meat all day and it's gonna be fine. I don't have to worry about nothing anymore. Salt is toxic. Freaking raw milk is gonna make me grow tall. Or the other side is all these. Yeah, we just eat sugar all day. We get all these. What's the best grain? Fruitarianism. We can eat fruits. We don't have to worry about anything. We get life force from sugar. We are hummingbirds now. Either incentives dictate outcomes, so you basically are shield because you're trying to just make money by influencing everybody with the wrong kind of message, or you either telling everybody that your brain is basically bald like a motherfucker shining. I can see my image on your brain because it's so freaking smooth. And some of these guys just do it year after year. Freaking decade after decade. What's the best biochemistry? Does sun give a fuck about your biochemistry? That's biophysics, dude. Our bodies, like everything in this freaking reality, runs on physics. Biophysics. So, you can just eat my raw meat and live in my 5G city. No problem. I can eat my sugar in my 5G city. But the Wi-Fi is beaming down my ass all day. 24/7. Basically every single second of your life. The freaking Wi-Fi is beaming down your cells. Killing their vibes. Your cell is like, bitch, stop killing my motherfucking vibe. These frequencies, what the fuck are they? We are not used to them, yeah, because your ancestors didn't have those frequencies. I didn't have those frequencies when I was born. We only had this since the beginning of humanity. That's what created us. And first, there were light. So, you nutrition nerds, time to wake the fuck up. Time to get the real message. You need to look the whole freaking environment as a whole. And yes, if you actually eat some raw meat, you get some salmon, raw salmon, some saturated fat, some brains, whatever you get your hands on. You are gonna do better in the 5G city than the freaking absolute retard that's doing some sugar diet because it's the trendy challenge to do right now. And he's kind of bored, or she's kind of bored with her or him's life. So now he's gonna spice it up a little bit with sugar. That's the absolute smooth brain thing to do in a modern world. I'm gonna tell you this. I did, on top of my raw chicken, nutrition experiment, but the raw chicken experiment has turned into so much more. I'm gonna sum it up soon. But this summer I did the best mini experiment inside of my raw chicken experiment, where I spent 1 month every single night over this place, this cabin that my grandfather and grandmother built. Perfect gift to give your bloodline. I can turn the electricity completely off every time I want. I can be fully naked all day on the sunlight or outside if it's not sunny. I can be grounding, I can be swimming over here every day I want. I can have sauna, the traditional Finnish sauna, wood fire sauna of course, no electric sauna. Every time I want. And then I went back to the city. And guess what? I felt amazing. I have not felt this good in years. And I have been living in the city, which is only about 80 kilometers from here. But the environment is totally different. The signals, the non-native EMFs, the frequencies, the vibes are completely different. I cannot get any single Wi-Fi over here. There's no Wi-Fi. I'm sharing my data from my phone. There's no neighbors' Wi-Fi's. There's no... Can you see any freaking towers over here? 5G towers? No, there's just trees blocking if there's some freaking frequencies coming. The trees are blocking it. Every single day for a month straight I spent here. I have not done this ever in my life probably. But the environment was much better when I was a child. Because these things were just coming up. But I have spent a lot of time in the city on those years. And as I have spoken, my health, just the feeling, my vitality, my energy levels, all kinds of things. They were going downhill when I started this experiment. That's why I started this experiment. To turn myself around. Because I knew I was going in the wrong direction with how I felt. And the month here, I had allergies back then. I still had those grass allergies. My sleep wasn't perfect because of those, and some days the allergy kind of made me feel kind of tired. It was really hot. But after that, and during also, very much during also, but just saying, after that, every single day after that, even when I was in the city, and I was having a pretty stressful 1 week period, I have not felt this good in probably over a decade. And it's natural energy, natural vitality. I sometimes still use a little bit coffee. It's my only vice, some days. But very little what I used to. But my diet in the city, in here, the same. Here, I can notice, if you pay a real close attention to my videos, you can notice also that my hair is much better here, and I don't do anything different. I only wash it a couple times a week, sometimes even once a week, so it kind of gets greasy. But I don't mind. But I notice it. That's the first thing I notice. One day in the city, my hair starts to go thinner. It starts to go downhill again. One day, one night, slept here, my hair starts to come back. More I spend time over here, my hair's going thicker and thicker, and my hair has been super thin. for a long time. You can see also go back and look at my videos. I have over almost 500 videos every single day. You can go back and check. When I started this challenge, my hair was very thin. It has gotten a lot thicker because I have spent more time in this place with this light on me than I have in all of my life thus far. And what that 1 month did to me, it's almost unbelievable. It was only 1 month. Peak of the summer, I was getting naked sunlight every single day. It was amazing when I go back to see those videos. But like I said, my diet exactly the same. Nothing changed. One day in the city, my hair starts to go this. My mood slowly starts to go this. Not really that much even. When I still was in the city for a couple of weeks straight, my mood was still pretty good. My brain was still pretty good. My sleep was still pretty good. My digestion was still pretty good. But I could notice in my hair really. So it's subtle changes starting to creep back in the city life. Now I'm back here again and it has been all like this again. That's how much environment plays a role. And that's how little nutrition, only focusing on nutrition like this, it's like pissing in the wind. Really. Now you are gonna do better if you DHA up, eat saturated fat, animal fats, because you create a lot more water and your body's gonna get a lot more electrons if you see the sunrise, because you cannot use beta oxidation if you don't see the sunrise. So there's that. If you're gonna eat a lot of fat, always see the sunrise, or at least do your very best. So you are gonna do better eating raw meat, raw animal products, or animal products in general. They don't have to be even raw. You are gonna do a lot better. But still, if you live in cities, you are gonna have big problems. And no amount of raw meat, no amount of organs, no amount of seafood, it's gonna little mitigate it. But really, you have to get your ass to the right environment. We are gonna end this video with this little video presentation. Oh my god, let's...
that are all published science, testing results, or public standards. At the bottom end of the radiation scale of what's called power density or signal strength is the minimum level at which cell phones will work, which was found to be 0.2 billionths of a microwatt per centimeter squared. Pine needles were found to age prematurely at 0.000027.
Think about how little that is. There's also those experiments where you can see the time lapse of just grass growing under Wi-Fi, and the grass doesn't grow. The plants don't grow. These plants, they don't have no freaking problems. But a little bit of Wi-Fi, the plants don't grow. What does that do to you 24/7? Because you are in the environment when it's constantly affecting you. 24/7, every second of your existence in those environments, it's affecting you.
At short-term exposures of 0.5, children aged 8 to 17 experienced headache, irritation, concentration difficulties, and behavioral problems.
Why is everybody autistic these days? ADHD, mental disorders, gender disorders, sexual disorders. Why does it seem like nobody's brain doesn't work? And why does it seem like since 2020, 2019 it has gotten a lot worse? Yeah, we have those. But guess what else rolled in?
Problems. Point 1 is the Biobiology or Building Biology Guideline for Extreme Concern.
And you can see how much more. That's twice as much as what already gives headaches, irritation, concentration difficulties. But you can see. Let's see more.
1.0 produced sperm DNA fragmentation and a decrease in sperm viability in vitro.
Why does everybody have these fertility issues? Issues with their sexuality, like I said. Issues with having orgasms. Or issues having your pee-pee go up. Issues lubricating naturally. Issues with the yeast infections when you're women. Things like that. Why does everybody have those issues?
Also at 1.0, the science shows the following bodily effects can occur: headaches, dizziness, fatigue, insomnia, chest pain, difficulty breathing, and indigestion.
Why does everybody have digestion issues, fatigue, brain fog? Why does everybody don't have energy to really do anything anymore? What's going on over here?
Digestion. 2.5 saw altered calcium metabolism in heart muscle cells. 4.0, changes in the hippocampus affecting brain memory and learning. And at 6.0, DNA damage.
When I'm saying everybody's retarded, smooth brain, you can really think about he's just humoring us, making jokes, hyperbolic. But I'm not, because I understand the reality of the situation the humanity is in right now.
In cells. So, where are smart meters on this list? Electrical Power Institute in December 2010 measured a single Itron smart meter with pulses up to 7.93 microwatts per centimeter squared. Our own testing indicated approximately 8.0 with 1 meter. These tests are at a close distance, approximately 1 foot away from the meter, but an infant's crib could be just as close on the other side of the wall where the meter or bank of meters are installed. Even though there are all these known health effects at levels far lower, Switzerland, Liechtenstein, and Luxembourg see fit to set the standard at 9.5. And China, Poland, and Russia, 10.0. This is the same level at which behavior has been altered, producing reflexes of avoidance following 30-minute exposure.
Why is MK Ultra being so successful? Why does it seem like all of these NPCs, all of these normies just can't see the reality as it is? Why is everybody's brain full of these bullshit ass beliefs? Why is everybody so programmed?
A room of 12 smart meters, very common and even a conservative number in an apartment building, tested at 19.8 microwatts per centimeter squared. This is hundreds of times higher than levels which clearly indicate harmful effects. So how can utilities and governments get away with forcing these devices on everyone? This is how. In Canada and the US and several other civilized countries, the safety limit is set at 600 to 1,000 microwatts per centimeter squared. This so-called safety limit is literally tens of thousands of times higher than levels which are known to damage health, according to peer-reviewed published science.
Get your ass to the better environment. Your freaking life depends on it.